Hello everyone, I'm Camille. Welcome back to Yabacon TV. Today we're going to be talking about the role of product manager, what it is, and the qualities you need to be successful at it. We're joined by Paul, who is a product manager at Advancedly. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hi Camille, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
All right. So, what does a product manager do?
All right. So a product manager is a person that helps a company manage and vet product for the market. So it depends on the company. So for example, and the industry. So for example, if in the tech space, we use product managers. In some other space, they can use project managers, they can use business analysts. Those are the people that vet products and take products to the market. But in the tech space, for example, in software to be precise, product managers are the people that help vet products, help take the product to the market. So they essentially take your ideas, your visions, your missions, they make it a reality.
And then bring it to life, essentially.
Yeah, so that's my job.
All right, cool. Our viewers may not know this, but you have a degree in philosophy. You also have one in international law and diplomacy. So what led to your decision to transition into a tech-based role, and what has that journey been like?
Camille, you went to my LinkedIn, have
you? maybe not.
All right, so first, so in school, I wanted to study law. And so I think it was 69 and the cutoff mark was 71 or 17, Unilag then, and the course I could just take was philosophy, so I took it. So after school, I was thinking, okay, you know what, just go and do your first love now. I was thinking about like another 5 years again, so what I just did was just go for my master's and take an international law and diplomacy master's. Although it's terminal, I can't practice law. So I just wanted that feeling, oh, I did law. Well, I'm good. Then moving into tech. So the first thing I wanted to do, the first thing that came into my mind was that, okay, philosophy, what's the next step? I just didn't know I just didn't feel fulfilled. I was taking I took a sales job, but I was not just fulfilled. So then I had plans of doing my master's again in Canada. So my friend was like, okay, if you're coming to Canada, you need to be skilled. So I went to learn how to code. So when I was learning how to code, I found out that, okay, I have this good interpersonal skills with people. So why don't I just put it in a good use? So I started researching, and I saw that there's something called product management. So I started studying, I started taking classes on YouTube, bought a course on Udemy, then I found out a community called Product Dive. So I went to Product Dive and basically I took the course, took the exams, I became certified product manager. Then I started applying. Then I got my first job as a product manager, and here we are now.
Can you tell us more about what it was like getting that first job as a product manager?
Getting that first job as a product manager was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm not lying to you. Wow, says it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like I really did not know product managers. So I was going for this what they call it, interviews blind. Like nobody to coach me, no mentor, no this, no that one. So so it took a while. So I can tell you that I went for maybe 5 different interviews before I got my first job because I was a newbie. Nobody wanted to employ a newbie into the market. So it took a while. Started learning from my mistakes. If I go for this interview, what I do is I write down the questions. After writing down the questions, in my head, I get to practice. Then again, the next one. So I think the one that clicked, the one that I started working with, I wowed them because I had a series of failures under my belt. Yeah. So as we were just asking, I was just giving them. They're like, oh, are you serious for a newbie? I was like, yeah, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. And so it just went well. And now here we are.
Basically, fake it till you make it, and then learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Take what you've learned and then apply it forward, and then essentially become an expert, right?
Yes.
All right. So, can you tell us what are the qualities you learned along the way that make a successful product manager?
So first, as a product manager, your job is to bring out the best out of your developers or the other teams you're working with. You know, as a product manager, you not just work with developers, you work with business, you work with marketing, you work with different teams. So bring out the best in them. That's what I do. So I know I can't write code very well. I can't write code. So what do? I try to bring my developers, try to influence them. So you should be able to influence, because your role, you don't have, see, they just say product managers are the CEO of their products. But the truth about it is that you don't have any power, because if the developer does not do his work, they'll blame you. If the tester, the QA person doesn't test the application, they'll blame you, because your job basically is to defend or shield your guys, the cross-functional team. Your job is to defend them, shield them from management. So the most important thing is know how to influence people, know how to talk, good communication skills, because you should be able to communicate to your stakeholders, that's stakeholder management. You should be able to talk to your developers, your QA, because you're like the CEO, like they used to say. So you should be able to dictate the vision, the mission. How do you do it? It's by communicating to them, by saying, oh, you know what, if we do so and so, we'll get this result. Like, you can tell them that, see, the competition already in the market. Our job is to go there and crush the competition. Like, you're more or less everything. So let me just try and put it in the easiest way to talk about a product manager is, I don't know if you watch American football. I do. There's something called quarterbacks. Yeah. The quarterback is like the coach that is on the pitch, which means that whatever he says is what people do. So that's what you are. Like, you're on the field. For example, you're going to war. The captain that commanders a troop might not be the oldest person, but he's the person that they said should captain. Might not be the best person that uses the gun, but you're the one there. So when you're managing a team, you might not be the oldest, but you have more knowledge, you have in-depth, you can talk about this product much better than any other person. So I can't write code, I'm not the best person to write code, but I know what we want to achieve with this product. And my job is to communicate to people saying, hey, this is what we want to achieve. This is what the CEO says we want to do. I'm the best person to tell you. When you have blockers, I unblock you. I say, oh, okay, you need this one, I get this one for you. You don't need this one. We're moving to the next phase now. Paul, what do? I say, okay, this is what to do. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said earlier before, influence. You should be able to influence people. You should see things from your perspective. And another quality is, don't do as if you know it all. You cannot know it all. Like, there are trends that are always coming. There are new trends. Anybody can bring new trends in the team. That's what I'm saying. Your job is to bring out the best. So once you brought out the best, your guys can now start saying, oh, I saw this thing. I think we can inculcate it into whatever we're doing. You understand? Bring out the best. When you bring out the best from your team, work is very, very seamless.
I think that's something a lot of people can learn from. Essentially, the product manager's role is basically, there's a goal, there's a destination set by the company, management, or whoever. And the product manager's duty is to take the team that he has and embark on that journey to get them to that goal, to accomplish whatever the management of the company wants to accomplish, and make sure everything functions properly. Communication, like you mentioned, is also a big part of it. And I imagine that you have to talk to different teams differently. For example, how you speak to management might not be how you speak to the developers. How you speak to the developers might not be how you speak to the marketing team, and things like that. So yeah, that's a really good point. And on that fact, I'd like to ask you, what team is the easiest you found to work with, and what team is the hardest to work with?
All right. So the team I've worked with the easiest is I think it was my previous place of employment. Team was easy to work with. I think it was it was the mobile team. The mobile team.
Shout out to the mobile team.
Yeah, it was easy to work with them. Like, just set the vision. This is what we want to achieve. Maybe because we're peers, we're like maybe the same age group. We could talk, we could relate. Like, let me just tell you the truth. We were not even speaking English. Speaking Pidgin. How far? You don't run out. You don't do this one down, down. Like, because we all wanted the same thing. We want to achieve the same goal. We want to say, okay, we want to do this. We should get to this. By now we should get this. I know that the mobile team, whatever they want, I need to get an API from the back end, which means that they are stuck. if they don't get APIs. So once I get the APIs to them, I say, guys, how far? We know the backend guys they've stored on this thing. Please just do this thing. Like, we had this seamless communication because they cannot do anything without the backend. And funny enough, the appraisal is based on if the product gets to the market. Then the appraisal of the backend team is if they've created an API. So they knew that we're in the same bucket. We're in the same boat. And we worked seamlessly. Like, shout out to Tunde, shout out to Charles. Those guys, they really made my day, my previous work. As in, it was easy working with them. It was very, very easy working with them. Then, talking about people that it's hard to work with. First, the most important thing is people that have too much ego. It's always hard. You know, some developers will tell you that, what's the job of a product manager? Just say alpha.
Developers, come on now.
So some people say your job is just to say alpha. But the truth is that your job is more than alpha. Your job is to shield your developers from any other team. And I mean any other team. From the business team, from customer care, from any other. Your job is to shield them. Take the insult. Oh, we did not meet our targets. Yes, I'm sorry. As a collective group, we are taking that insult for them. So when somebody's now saying, I don't see the job of a product manager, you're not like, okay, but I've been the one taking the insult for you. I've been the one doing this. So when the product manager, when there's ego on the side of the product manager, there's ego on the side of maybe the lead engineer. It's a recipe for disaster already.
Nothing will just get done.
Nothing gets done. So I think so earlier in my career, I was always in loggerhead with an engineering manager. The truth about it is that two of us wanted the same goal, but the path at getting the goal was different. So, for example, coming to this location is coming from the island. I'm coming from Ibadan. We just want to get here. But the truth is that we did not sit down and say, oh, we want to do this. So before I left, funny enough, we had the best relationship because, okay, we sat down and said, okay, we want this thing. Let's tone down the ego. Okay, you want to control your team, Abi. You don't want it to look as if Paul is the one controlling the team. So we sat down, we toned the ego. And funny enough, we're good friends now, but it took time, and I'm not saying it took over a year for us to like say, hey, this is the best. So anytime there's a team that there's no ego, the truth is that you get the job faster. Or when there are two egos, imagine there's a product manager, there's an engineering manager, and they are let me use the word, subordinates, like, hey, people that don't know the work very, very well, but they need to speak to the engineering manager and the product manager. So the team is always torn. One is taking the side of a product manager, one is taking the side of an engineering manager. But when there's less ego in the team, work goes seamlessly.
And I feel like that's something everyone can learn from. Minimize your ego, learn to work with your other team. Even if you might disagree on something, remember that you want the same goal, and then just work towards achieving that.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Gamal.
You said thanks, Gamal. All right, so Paul, moving on. A lot of people get into tech with the mentality that they can make money as quick as possible, right? They want that money today, not tomorrow, today, as quick as possible. But as someone who's been in the industry for a long time, how long will it say it takes someone to start making tech money?
Hey, Camille, I'm not saying making tech money, please. So, Camille, the thing is that, so the first thing you need to know is that you need to be passionate about anything. I know tech is new in Nigeria. Yeah. I know people still say, hey, tech has been since the InterSwitch, since 2001, since 1998, we've been using, but the truth about it is that tech is new. Like, it's still, like, product management is new. Like, maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Still a new world.
Still a new world, and people are trying to come into it and say, oh, product management, you don't need to write code, you don't need to do this one, just come in and manage people. So the truth about it is that it depends on what you want. Like me now, it depends on my goal. And I'll tell you, okay, this is the amount I want to make. So I don't know what you want. I don't know the amount. So I cannot say, oh, in 4 years' time, you should be a baller. Okay. You understand? So it depends on what people actually want, their goals, the mission, what they actually want. I want to get X amount of money in so and so years. But give or take, I feel if 3-4 years, I'm not saying you just be a baller, but I'm saying you'll be good. You must have moved to maybe a senior product manager or an engineering manager. Then you can now do whatever you like. And now that we're in the days now that whereby the world is now global, which means then they can poach you from Nigeria or you can work from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Imagine if you are earning $5,000 with, I think it's now 710 or 720 the exchange rate now.
Yeah.
Already baller already now.
Yeah,
so that's just the truth. So it depends. So anybody that thinks he wants to make the blood money in tech now should just give himself 3 years, 3 or 4 years. I think you're a baller already.
And of course, you have to start from somewhere. You don't just get in and start making that much money. People in your role often start as an associate product manager actually before they advance to product manager and eventually senior product manager.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, let's say someone is an associate product manager. How do they go from APM, that's the abbreviation, to PM as quickly as possible?
All right. So the most important thing is that you need to know that as a product manager, the only way you are praised is by the amount of product or features you are pushing into the market and the impact it's making.
Okay.
So you can be pushing every feature every day and it's not making impact in the market. So what steps are you taking? So if I'm an APM, the truth is that most APM don't even have, some don't have a product that they're managing. Maybe they are shadowing another product manager. But if you're an APM that has his or her own products, what I think you should do is first understand the product.
Okay.
Then look for competitors around. What I'm saying is that there's nothing new. There's nothing new. I'm trying to tell you there's nothing new. Let me just give you the best thing as an APM. Look at product abroad. Look at product in Nigeria and see how you can make your own product stand out. So for example, look at these new banks now. Kuda banks, all these banks, they're all they're all copies of Revolut, like all these British bank, Revolut, all these banks, all these new banks abroad. So what did they do? Okay, see how it is working, bring it here. It's already becoming an invention here. Yeah. But over there, it's not. There's no more an innovation again. So what we are saying is that look at things that people are doing. Once you look at it, okay, how can I make it better? How can I make my product stand out? That's the thing. So if you are pushing out features that are impactful, that the market is saying, oh, I like this, there's no how you will not be promoted. Some people can be in APM for 2 years because why? They are not pushing out relevant products. But maybe because we are in this day and we're in this tech system whereby now that 2 years, already a senior product manager because of maybe because of the max exodus of talent leaving, but there's no how to not show. But the most important thing is understand the product, be creative about it, push out meaningful features and meaningful product to the market, and you'll be rewarded.
All right. So prioritizing impact is a key to success. It sounds like.
Yes.
And you don't want to just push out quantity. Quality also matters. Yeah. Knowing the user, of course, matters. Knowing who the product is intended for. Yeah. Knowing how to get it to that user and make it the user happy.
Yes.
Everyone wins in that scenario.
There's a win-win situation for you and the user.
All right. Thank you so much
for
coming to share your experience with us, Paul. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Same here. Thank you very much.
Hope you guys have learned a thing or two or three from this episode. And that's it. See you guys in the next one.
Bye. Bye, guys.